In this video, I'm going to explain how to attempt IELTS reading from IELTS 13 book academic. I'm going to explain step by step. That's why this is a longer video. So let's start it. This is test 1 from IELTS 13. As I told you, academic reading. This is academic IELTS reading. Now, first of all, first important step for IELTS reading is first important step is to read the title of the passage. Title of the passage is important to read, because in this way we are aware about the topic, about the topic about which we are going to read. We are going to read and getting knowledge about this topic only. So the topic is why being bored is stimulating and useful too. Why being bored is stimulating and useful too. Okay, of course you can read this one also. This most common of emotions is turning out to be more interesting than we thought. Okay, now the paragraph has been divided into small paragraphs with the names A, B, C, D and alphabetically, I can say. Okay, let's look at the type of questions. After this we have to go for the type of questions we have. Okay, always look at the type of questions first after reading the title of the passage. Now we have first type of question is match the headings. Okay, next type of question we have match each person with the correct idea. So these are the writers, these are the researchers. We have to match their ideas, their views with these options. Their names, here there are names and the options are there. Next type of question we have complete the summary below. Choose one word only. These are the blanks. Okay, let's start with the video. Let's start our reading. Our reading is first type of questions. Okay, now we have always read the instruction. Now these are the instructions. Always read the instructions. First, you should spend about 20 minutes, okay, on questions 14 to 26, which are based on reading passage 2 on pages 21 and 22. Okay, questions 14 to 19. Reading passage 2 has 6 paragraphs, as I showed you. A to F is having. Okay, next is choose the correct heading for each paragraph from the list of heading. Now first instructions we have gone through. After that, identify the questions. Which type of questions we have? Correct heading, match the headings. Okay, let's look at write the correct number 1 to 8 in boxes on your answer sheet. The writer always, the examiner always giving instructions in the question paper. Always write your answers in answer sheet, and you have to write the correct number 1 to 8. So please don't write in the answer sheet like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, this is all wrong. Okay, you have to write the answers like in Roman numbers 1 to 8, like these, like options we have given it. Okay, let's erase it. Okay, let's look at these are the list of heading. Let's look at the list of headings and we will try to understand the meaning of these headings. The productive outcomes that may result from boredom. Okay, for productive outcomes we may get the words like productive is something creative, or fruitful. You can get the word like fruitful. See, you have to read the options 2-3 times and translate this into your mother tongue or your native language in order to understand the meaning of this list of heading. So side by side underline the keywords and try to take out some synonyms. Of course, in question paper, in examination hall, you are not going to write these words on the question paper because it's a wastage of time. you have to remind it into your mind ki, for getting this word you can get these kinds of synonyms or other words in the paragraph. Okay, that may result from boredom. Of course, for boredom you are not getting anything because this is the main word. This is the main word in the, because here it is bored, because in the title of the passage it is given bored. So in the whole passage the word you will come across so many times, this word boredom. Next is what teachers can do to prevent boredom. What teachers? For teachers you can get another word also, tutors or something like this. Or to prevent. To prevent is to avoid. So to avoid. To prevent is to avoid. Okay. Next is a new explanation. A new explanation and a new cure for boredom. A new explanation. A new explanation is something description. Something description. Description or like report, some report, we may get the word like some report. And a new cure. New cure is new cure is giving some suggestions or something like new cure for boredom. Something new, that is cure is some medication or some suggestions. I can write here suggestions. Okay, suggestion. Problems with a scientific approach to boredom. Problem with a scientific approach to boredom. Problems is issues. Some problems is issues. We can get word like issues or some other kinds of words. And scientific approach. Scientific approach is a scientific approach. We may get the word like scientific methodology or scientific lab-based activity. We can get lab-based activity. We can easily get. We can get lab-based activity. Next is a potential danger arising from boredom. A potential. What is potential? Potential is a possible future danger arising from, or we can get the word like future. Danger is risk, some kind of risk or anything like this. Arising from, arising means we can get the word like comes out. Okay, next is creating a system of classification for feeling of boredom. Creating a system of classification or for feeling of boredom. For feeling is, you may get the word like experience. Classification is something like classification is to distinguish something from different words or types. We can get the word like types. Let's write it here. Types of for feelings of boredom. Okay, age groups. Next is age group. Age groups most affected is having a impact on something. Age groups is like there may be some kind of age groups given in the paragraph. Okay, maybe using teenagers or youngsters or like old age groups. We can get these kinds of words in the paragraph. Identifying those most affected by boredom. Identifying, finding those most affected by boredom. So in this way, while reading the list of headings, we have to we have to read 3 times at least, take out meaning of the list of headings, underline the keywords, try to take out synonyms for the keywords. Okay, let's start it. These are our list of headings. Let's look at the paragraph A. Yes, here it is, paragraph A. Okay. We all know how it feels. It's impossible to keep your mind on anything. Time stretches out, and all the things you could do seem equally unlikely to make it feel better. Okay. But defining, see, you have to read the whole paragraph but very fastly. If you are stuck only to first sentence, sentence here means from here to here, where the full stop comes, this is the first sentence. No, first sentence, the sentence starting from here till the full stop, it is one sentence. And the last sentence is, okay, last sentence from where, I think from here only. I think this is the biggest sentence. Yes, from here. In this way we have to read the whole paragraph but very fastly, in order to take out the meaning of this passage. Okay. But defining boredom, okay, so that it can be studied in the lab, okay, has proved difficult. For a start, it can include a lot of mental states such as frustration, different. There isn't any agreement over whether boredom is always a low energy, flat kind of, okay, agitated. Calgary, Canada compares it to disgust, an emotion that motivates us to stay away from certain situation. If disgust protects humans from infection, may protect them from infectious social situations, he suggests. Okay, let's read it from here only. We all know how it feels. It's impossible to keep your mind on anything. Time stretches out, and all things could do seem equally unlikely to make you feel better. But defining boredom so that it can be studied in the lab has proved difficult. Yes, as I told you, for scientific approach we can get the word like lab based activity. Scientific approach, the research has been done for the special topic. Okay, now what are the problems here? We can get the problems here like lot of other mental states, yes, such as frustration, apathy, depression and indifference is there. Okay, so let's read at the options. Though I have got the clue for this option, let's read it. The productive outcomes that may result from boredom, no. What teachers can do to prevent, nothing is given about teachers and tutor. A new explanation and new cure, no. Problems with a scientific approach to boredom, yes. This is the perfect matching heading with the A statement. So we will be writing 4 number. We have come across problems as well as scientific approach to boredom in the first paragraph, A paragraph. So in this way, let's cut it from the list of options. Next is passage B. Passage B, let's read it. By asking people about their experiences of boredom. Yes, first line of the paragraph indicates the main idea of the paragraph. Thomas Götz and his team at the University of Kongstein in Germany have recently identified 5 distinct types. Yes, I told you the word types. Indifferent, calibrating, searching, reactant and apathetic. These can be plotted on 2 axes, one running to left. Okay, let's match the headings. I think we got the clue here. Yes, I told you. Creating a system of classifications for feeling of boredom. Yes, for feeling of boredom. Feeling is experience of boredom. We get this, as well as the word classification for feeling of boredom. Yes, we got this word. 5 distinct types. Indifferent, these are the 5 distinct types of boredom they have given. These can be plotted. Now they have explained one of the 5 types. Next important word we got in it, it means it is correct. We are going correct. 5 types. The most damaging is reactant boredom with explosive combination of, okay, Yes, creating a system of classification for feeling of boredom. Yes, we got the perfect answer. For this is 7. This is 7. For B paragraph, it is given answer 7. Okay. Let's go to C paragraph. Okay. Psychologist Sandy Mann at the University of Central Lancashire, UK goes further. All emotions are there. All emotions are there for a reason, including boredom. All emotions are there for a reason, including boredom. She says man has found that being bored makes us more creative. Yes, the word creative also it was given. Let's look at the paragraph first. We all are afraid of being bored, but in actual fact it can lead to all kinds of amazing things. She says in experiments published last year, man found the people who had been made to feel bored by copying numbers out of the phone book for 15 minutes came up with more creative ideas. Yes, again word creative is coming out. So let's okay, what the writer is saying, man included that a passive boring activity is best for creativity because it allows the mind to wander. Okay, let's look at where I told you creativity. Yes, here it is in the first. Okay, first we have got, as I told you, the productive outcomes. Creativity is given in the paragraph. The productive outcomes that may result from boredom. Yes, the productive outcomes. What is here? Okay, makes us more creative, as well as it is given in the example. 50 came up with more creative ideas about how to use a polystyrene cup than a control group. Man concluded that a passive brain activity is best for creativity because it allows the mind to wander. Okay, yes, let's cut it from the list of options. Yes, for C it is 1. For C it is 1. See how I am writing the answers into Roman number, into these kinds of numbers, not in 1 2 3 or like 1 2 3. It is not correct actually. So let's look at the paragraph D. Let's read it. Paragraph D, sorry, we are here only. D. Yes, psychologist John Eastwood. Side by side, please underline the main important keywords. Like in this paragraph, as we know, we have to find the writer's view idea with the correct options next in the next type of question. So side by side, please underline the writer's name. Okay, here Peter Toohey is given. Okay, let's go to the D paragraph. Psychologist John Eastwood at York University in Toronto, Canada isn't convinced if you are in a state of mind wandering, you are not bored. Okay, mind wandering. He says, in my view, yes, whenever it is given their view or in inverted comma something is written, it is an indication of the answer. In my view, my definition, boredom is an undesirable state. This doesn't necessarily mean that it is an adaptive. He adds, pain is adaptive. If we didn't have physical pain, but bad things would happen to us. That does mean that we should actively cause pain. But even if boredom has evolved us to survive, let's turn to the next page. If allowed to fester. For Eastwood, the central feature of boredom is a failure to put our attention system into gear. This causes an inability to focus on anything, which makes time seem to go painfully slowly. What's more, your efforts to improve the situation can end up making you feel worse. People try to connect with the world. If they are not successful, there is that frustration, irritability. He says, perhaps most worryingly. Let's look at the options. We have read out enough paragraph. Okay, here is the paragraph. list of options. Okay, first we have done. Next is what teachers can do to prevent boredom. A new explanation and a new cure. No. Potential danger arising from boredom. Yes, a potential danger they are talking about. This causes an inability to focus on anything. Okay, which makes them seem to be go painfully slow. What's more, your efforts to improve the situation can end up making you feel worse. People try to connect. If they are not successful, there is that frustration and irritability. If they are not successful, there is that frustration and irritability. He says, perhaps most worryingly, repeatedly failing to engage. Okay, it is clearly given a potential danger arising from boredom. Here it is given in the here. As I told you, yes, in my D is here. Okay. Then if you are in a state of mind wandering, you are not bored. In my view, by definition, boredom is an undesirable state. That doesn't necessarily mean adaptive. Pain is adaptive. If we didn't have physical pain, bad things would happen to us. Would means probable. Problems, potential is probably or possible or future. In future they are talking about, of course, a possible future. A possible is written. Would happen, bad things would happen to us. Bad things would happen to us here means a potential danger arising from boredom. So fifth is again cut it from the list of options. 17th is fifth. 17th is fifth. Okay, let's look at the paragraph E. E paragraph. This is E. Okay, this is E. Eastwood's team is now trying to explore why the systems fail. Now trying to explore. I think I got this word in the list of headings. Why the attention system fails. It's early days, but they think that at least some of it's come down to personality. Okay, personality is, I think, given. Boredom proneness has been linked with a variety of traits. Yes, let's look at the list of options. I think I have got the clue here. Okay. Productive, no. What teachers know, a new explanation, nothing is given about it. Problem with a scientific approach, no. Age groups most affected by boredom. And last is identifying those most affected by boredom. Okay, is now trying to explore. Here means, I think, identifying those most affected by boredom. Let's look at let's read the whole paragraph. Still, first we got the now trying to explore is identifying. It is identifying. But for these words we have to read the paragraph further. It comes down to personality. Yes, of course, they are telling it. Those who are most affected, boredom proneness with a variety of traits. People who are motivated by pleasure seem to suffer particularly badly. Other personality traits such as curiosity are associated with a high boredom threshold. Okay, in this way they are saying, okay, let's more evidence boredom has detrimental effects. Okay, some comes from studies of people who are more or less okay. Education Goats group has one suggestion. Okay, one suggestion is there. Working with teenagers. Okay, they found that those who approach a boring situation, in other words, see that it's boring and get stuck in any way, report less boredom than those who try to avoid by using snacks, TV or okay. Now it is clearly given. Identifying is now trying to explore those most affected by boredom. Why the attention fails. It's in early days that they think at least some of it comes down to personality. Has been linked, boredom proneness has been linked with a variety of traits. And again they are talking about people who are motivated. They are explaining which type of people they are getting bored. Okay, For this, let's cut it from the list of options. Okay, for 18th is 8. So let's look at this option also. Age groups most affected by boredom. Age groups most affected by boredom. Here it is given the teenagers, word teenager also, but it doesn't mean you are going to opt that option, because age groups most affected by boredom, here it is given, they are not talking about the age groups, they are talking about the people who are motivated by pleasure seem to suffer other personality traits such as curiosity. They are talking about the types of person who are having these kinds of curiosity and all, these kinds of boredom, but they are not talking about the age group. Here it is given the age group, so that is why this is not the option for this E option, this E paragraph. Let's look at the last paragraph. Psychologist Francois Wemmelsfelder speculates that our over-connected lifestyles might even be a new source of boredom. Okay, in modern human society there is a lot of overstimulation, but still a lot of problems finding meaning. Okay, finding meaning, she says. So instead of seeking yet more mental stimulation, perhaps we should leave our phones alone and use boredom to motivate. Okay, here it is given should means we should leave our phones alone. Here it is given the cure for some problem. Here the problem is boredom. With the help of we are overdoing with phone only. So she is explaining, she is giving us the cure. Perhaps we should leave our phones alone and use boredom to motivate us to engage with the word in a more meaningful way. So let's look at the options we have. What teachers can do to prevent, nothing has given about teachers. In fact, in any paragraph, nothing has come this kind of word. A new explanation, yes, it is given, yes, a new explanation and a new cure for boredom. Yes, new cure for boredom is we should leave our phones alone and use boredom to motivate us. It means for this paragraph is a new explanation and a new cure for boredom. Yes. Let's write it here. What is it? Is third number. See, in this way very easily we have solved this list of heading. Okay, let's move on to the next type of questions we have. Yes, we have this kind of questions. Let's move on to, okay, let's look at the people 20 to 23. Let's look at the people. Okay, and the list of ideas below. Match each person with the correct idea. Yes, write the correct letter A to E in boxes 22 to 23 on your answer sheet. Okay, Peter Tuhi, Thomas Gomez, John Eastwood, Francois Webster. Okay, you can read if you want list of ideas, because okay, yes, we can read it if you want, because here I really want to go for this person's point of view where they have given, and then try to find the option from this list of ideas. Okay, let's read the list of ideas first. The way we live today may encourage boredom. One sort of boredom is worse is important to look for, worse than all the others. Levels of boredom may fall in the future. Okay, in the future. With the help of these words, we can easily come to the conclusion whether it is given by this or this by reading the passages. Okay, may encourage, may live today. Okay, trying to cope with boredom can increase its negative effects. Okay, boredom may encourage us to avoid an unpleasant experience. Okay, let's read at the first type of option is, first type of people is Peter Tuhe. Peter Tuhe is in the first paragraph as I come across in the A paragraph. Okay, here it is given. Peter Tuhe at the University of Calgary, Canada, compares it to disgust, an emotion that motivates us to stay away from certain situations. Okay, if disgust protects humans from infections, boredom may protect them from infectious social situations, he suggests. Yes, it is given in the E option. Boredom may encourage us to avoid an unpleasant experience. What is unpleasant experience here? Unpleasant experience here is from certain situations, to stay away from certain situations. What are these certain situations? Protects humans from infection. Boredom may protect from infectious social situations. In this way, we have got the options like boredom may encourage us to avoid, as I show you. This is E. For 20 is E option. So let's cut it from the list of options. So see, you have to make dirty your answer, your question paper while doing this. These kinds of questions like match the headings and list of ideas. Don't worry about it. Next is Thomas Goetz, where it is, it's in the B paragraph. Thomas Goetz, what he is saying, and his team at the university recently identified 5 types of, okay, these can be plotted, which measures, okay, negative or positive the feeling is. Let's look at the feeling. I think we have got it. Okay, negative effects is there. Okay, what we will be, the way we live today may encourage boredom. No one sort of boredom is worse than all others. Levels of boredom may fall trying to cope with. I think this is the option. Let's read the paragraph. Their options: searching, reactant. These can be plotted on 2 axes, one running to left, which measure, okay, positive and negative. Healing has found, where is the okay, which measures how to high arousal, and one from top to bottom, which measures how positive or negative the feeling is. Intriguingly, Goetz has found that while people experience all kinds of boredom, they tend to specialize in one of the 5 types. The most damaging is reactant boredom, with explosive combination of high arousal, negative emotions. The most damaging is, it is given, yes, worse than all the other. Worse than is most damaging, it is given in the paragraph. Most damaging, worse than others. It means for B, let's cut it. For B, Mr. Thomas Goetz is answer is B. Okay, let's go to the John Eastwood. John Eastwood is, okay, in the third it is something Sandy Man, and D paragraph it is given John Eastwood. Okay, in my view, okay, whenever we are doing this kind of questions, writers and their views, we have to look especially for their inverted commas view. He says, of course this is also in inverted comma, if you are in a state of mind wandering, you are not bored. In my view, by definition, boredom is an undesirable state. This doesn't necessarily mean that it's an adaptive. He adds, pain is adaptive. If we didn't have physical pain, bad things would happen to us. Okay, let's read the option. Okay, trying to cope with boredom can increase its negative effects. Okay, state of you are not bored. Okay, in my view, by definition, boredom is an undesirable state. That doesn't necessarily mean that it is an adaptive. He adds, pain is adaptive. If we didn't have physical pain, bad things would happen to us. Bad things can increase its negative effects. Trying to cope, here it is given very clearly. If we didn't have physical pain, bad things would happen to us. Does that mean we should actively cause pain? No. But even if boredom has evolved us to survive, it can still be toxic. It can still be toxic if allowed to fester. Okay, yes, here this causes an inability to focus on anything, which makes time seem to be go painfully slowly. And what's more, your efforts to improve the situation can end up making you feel worse. People try to connect with the world. Okay, It means trying to cope with boredom can increase its negative effects. Yes, it is the perfect answer. See, I have come to the conclusion from here to here. It can still be toxic here. From here, I have read all the details of this writer in order to understand the meaning of this topic, meaning of this passage. Okay, for 22 is D. 422 is D. Let's look at the next writer, Francois Wemmelsfelder. Okay, it's in the last paragraph. Yes, speculates. Of course, speculates is in she's in doing for the future. Speculates that our over-connected lifestyles might even be a new source of boredom. Okay, in modern human society there is a lot of overstimulation but still a lot of problems. Okay, yes, we already know, we have read this passage in the for the match the sentence. Okay, the speculation is future. For the future, in the future the writer has used the word speculation. From the first line we come to know this option is for Francois Wemmelsfelder. Levels of boredom may fall in the future. Speculates that over-connected lifestyles might even be it doesn't mean we have got the word this in the future speculation, but we have to match the full line. Levels of boredom may fall in future. Okay, in future we got levels of boredom where it is our connected lifestyle may even be a new source of boredom. There is a lot of still problem finding. Okay, but nothing is given about levels of boredom may fall in future. May fall, it means we are going wrong. It means we have to look for another option. The last option we have left, the way we live today may encourage boredom. Yes, I think it is given in the paragraph. Let's read it thoroughly. Speculates, that's why I always insist you to read the whole paragraph, not get the idea from the first line, that our over-connected lifestyles might even be a new source of boredom in modern human society. Yes, for present situation, now they are talking about, first line they were talking about future, in second line they are talking about the present. In modern human society there is a lot of overstimulation but still a lot of problems finding meaning. Okay, in this way, the way we live today may encourage boredom. Yes, for this we have option like A. For this we have option A. The way we live today is in modern human society may encourage boredom. The way, new source of boredom, there is a lot of overstimulation but still a lot of problems finding meanings, she says. So instead of seeking more mental stimulation, perhaps we should now, from here to here, the writer is giving the suggestions for future for this kind of boredom. Okay, let's move on to the next type of question. Next type of question we have here is questions 24 to 28. Complete the summary below. Choose one word only. Okay, let's read responses to boredom. For John Eastwood, the central feature of boredom is that people cannot. Okay, John Eastwood is in the D paragraph. Isn't. Okay, if you are in a state of mind not bored, okay, and disabled, this doesn't mean. Okay, let's read it. We have to find the word. What we are going to find the word. Okay, let's underline the keyword because without this I can't help. I can't locate the question. Central features of boredom. Okay, people. Central features of boredom is, yes, I got this word. Central feature of boredom is a failure to put our attention system into gear. This causes an inability to focus on anything, which makes time to okay. Yes, for John Eastwood, the central feature of boredom is that people cannot, due to a failure. Okay, attention system we got here, attention system is also here. Okay, what they are saying, that people cannot, this causes an inability to focus on anything. Cannot, before the word is cannot, okay, is a failure to put our attention system into gear. This causes an inability to focus on anything. Inability is cannot, inability is cannot focus on anything. So focus is the answer here. It will come focus due to a failure. Yes, we got these words. And as a result, okay, as a result we have to look for where it is. They become frustrated and irritable. Okay, let's read it from his team suggests. Now we will be looking for this keyword, that those for whom is an important aim in life may have problems in coping with boredom. Okay, his team is here. Yes, okay, it's in early days that they think what the team is saying. It's early days, but they think that at least some of its outcome to personality. Boredom proneness has been linked with a variety of traits. Okay, people who are motivated by pleasure seem to suffer particularly badly. Yes, what it is given in the question, let's read it again. That those for whom is an important aim in life, okay, important aim in life, may have problems in coping with boredom. May have aim in life, what is this? Okay, pleasure seem to suffer badly. People who are motivated by pleasure seem to suffer badly. Other personality, okay, here it is given. Team suggest that those for whom, here of course in the paragraph they are talking about personality, people who are motivated by pleasure, those who are motivated by pleasure, they are going to suffer badly. So here it is given, is an important aim in life, may have problems in coping with boredom. So it is it will come here, pleasure. Their main motive of life is pleasure. They may have problems in coping with boredoms, whereas it means now it is while comparison. Whereas those who have the characteristic, it means here the person who is having pleasure main motivation, and the person here who is having something different can cope with it. Okay, here it is given. Yes, other personality, other here means whereas other personality traits such as curiosity are associated with a boredom threshold. More evidence that boredom has a detrimental effect. Okay, who have characteristic of can generally, okay, who have characteristic of such as curiosity are associated with a boredom threshold. Okay, let's write it here. Curiosity, those who have the characteristic of curiosity can generally cope with it. Let's curiosity. Yes, my spelling is correct. You have to mind your spellings while writing for the fill in the blanks. Okay, in this way we have completed this. Thank you so much for watching my video.